Hello everyone, I'm Wes Sego, and this is AOC2 Week 1 project review for term 1308. And this week for the project, basically we had to do some custom classes and work with inheritance and create private methods and also create a factory function. So on my particular project, I chose astrophotography cameras. I'm into astrophotography, so thought that would be a pretty interesting one to do. Actually, I started out this week with, I've done this thing 3 times now this week, so I really do feel like I have a pretty good grasp of it. But in the beginning, I started out with like an MMO type player character generator, and then I thought, that really is, or it pretty heavily resembles the creature factory that was in the video, so I said, well, I better not do that. I might get myself into trouble. And then I started thinking and working on like a loot generator type app, for an MMO, and then at the end of the 11th hour, I just said, man, let me just stick with what I know. So there we go. We came out with astrophotography cameras. So, obviously I have the base camera class and then a camera factory. And then for the 3 subclasses, I chose a planetary camera, a deep space camera, and an SLR camera. And we had to take that information and we had to create 6 UI labels. We had to have them all work on the same function in the base class and put that into the 3 of the labels, and then in each of the subclasses, the custom classes, we had to create a different version or a different method. So I tried to pick something that was a characteristic of each of those types of cameras and make a little calculation so that everything would hit the rubric and it would meet those requirements. But it really wasn't, the app doesn't do anything useful. So as far as what I feel like I could have done better, had I had more time and had I started out with this idea on Tuesday when I started playing with this, I probably would have actually made this app a little bit more useful. I guess the saving grace of this whole thing is in the course of doing this, I actually came up with some really great ideas of what could be done with this, kind of backing away from it. If you looked at like magnitudes of different planetary or heavenly bodies, you could make an app that would help you out with picking a target based on your seeing conditions on that particular night. If things are require you to have a certain amount of light coming in, and if it's a great night, you go over there and take a look at those things. So it kind of opened up my eyes a little bit to some different things, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time going through my code here. I'm sure my code looks just like everyone else's. We're all watching the same videos, so as far as, I did use the type defs in the base camera, and then pretty much that's it. But I'll give you a quick overview of the app, or what it looks like when it's done. I've got it set running over here on air server, so let me grab that for you. And okay, so here's an idea. Here's my my little title label. I actually put in 7 UI labels. I went ahead and made like a title for it. But the first, third, and fifth are basically the same function that's running in that base class. It just it's computing like a hypothetical exposure time. And then for the planetary type camera, with that type of imaging, you're really almost making movies. You're taking a really super high-speed camera and you're just shooting as many images as you can in less than about 3 to 4 minutes. I changed that method to compute how many frames you could shoot with a particular camera in 3 minutes. This one happens to be a 120 frame per second camera, so a USB 3 camera. And the second one was a deep sky camera. The difference with that, I just threw in something about how long you could track this thing without using auto guiding and still have a decent looking image. And then the last one was an SLR camera in the event that you want to piggyback one or actually just put it straight through your telescope through the eyepiece. How if you crank up the ISO, they will develop some artifacts called blooming. So there's a time limit on that before the chip heats up and starts blooming. So that's it. Just some real basic calculations that don't really amount to much, but like I said, they work. They hit the rubric. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope everyone had a great week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.